Welcome to the Danny Servance Show and special edition, a Saturday game for the Ellison Eagles coming up. 1 o'clock kickoff against Odessa High, and they're playing the game at Abilene's famous Shotwell Stadium. So we're going to be talking about that today on the pregame show. But Coach, Red Oak team came in here last week, and that's a pretty good team. I tell you what, they're a 6A team. Playing that tough district up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they came with a pretty good offense and defense. You look good. At times, turn the ball over. When you're right down at the goal line, that wasn't good.
Right.
Though. But otherwise, kids were upset, I know. But we got a brand new season starting tonight, or next week.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. We did play better this week than we did last week, and we continue to talk about getting better each week. We played against a really good football team. Red Oak will be a playoff team, and they've got a couple of commits on that team to Texas and a couple of other places, and I think Texas State and Baylor, and they've got some good football players on that football team, and for the most part, I thought we held our own. Made a couple of mistakes, like you said, that kind of put us behind the eight ball, so to speak, but saw some good things out of our kids, and their fight and their resiliency is something that I love, and know that we'll continue to see that.
Come out healthy?
Yeah, we did come out pretty healthy. We had a couple of kids that were banged up from the previous week, and hopefully we'll get them back either this week or the start of district play. I think the off week is going to help us after this week, try to get some of those guys back from injury. But for the most part, yeah, we came out of that game injury-free.
Setting up the schedule pretty good. You end up playing in Abilene against the Broncos, or the Broncos, whatever you want to call them. Anyway, at Odessa High. But setting up with a good schedule, playing good quality opponents, 6A opponents, and your non-district, you get ready for your schedule, which, you're not going into a baby schedule or baby district here. We're talking, about Brenham and Brian Rudder and University, Waco High, Belton. Those are some teams that are good.
I tell you what, they really are. Both Brenham and University both ranked in the state. And, like you said, each week you got to show up and play your best football because there's really good football teams in our district. So we've got to finish this one that we've got on Saturday and try to take care of the Broncos. We know they'll be tough, hard-nosed.
Yeah, you've been telling me they've got some studs here and there.
They do. Their quarterback is what makes them go. Oh, Mike Hikota, he's really good. He and Sydney are right there, both around 1,300 yards through 4 games. So both lighting it up. They score a lot of points. I think they're averaging about 50 points a game. So we're going to have to do a great job defensively trying to slow them down. They've got a running back, George Valdez, that is a very hard runner, grinded out type of kid. He'll run over you. He'll stiff arm you. So we've got to put hats on him and make sure that we do a great job versus their receivers. I don't think, they're just blazing as far as their receivers are concerned, but they run terrific routes, and their quarterback does a great job of putting the ball right there where they can catch it. So they do a great job on offense, and defensively, I was talking about one of my coach's nephews, Dominique Taylor, the middle linebacker there, really good football player, young kid who does a great job, and if he's anything like his uncle, who played at University of Texas, then and he played at Odessa High also, then he's a really good football player. But like I said, they've got talented kids on their roster. And
those West Texas boys eat pretty good, too.
I tell you what they do, a lot of cattle, a lot of beef out there, and, a lot of
size.
That's right. That's right. A lot of Mexican food and things that stick to your ribs. So a lot of good eating going on, in Odessa, Texas. So
and you're going to give the boys pizza or something, aren't you?
No, we are not eating pizza.
Okay. This is all you feed them good on a long trip.
Hey,
okay?
That's right, because there's a lot of good food in Odessa. So But yeah, they have some big boys, and they do a great job with their offensive line protecting that quarterback, giving him time, and they come off the ball and they execute at a high level on offense. And so Coach Hartman's done a great job taking over, and they're winning some ball games. So we're gonna have to make sure that we match their intensity and try to get off to a fast start.
Now you got the offense to do it. I mean, you've been putting the yards up. You've been your quarterback's one of the best in the area, just tearing it up. Sidney's having some great season this year, coming off last season when he was so frustrated with injuries and everything, and he's just shining. And a leader on the team. Defensively, y'all are eating people up. The games are close. The scores may not indicate it in some points, but these games are a lot closer than a lot of people think. And another, your running back. Just when you think Sidney's going to toss it down the ball, Kenny goes outside, he's gone.
Well, I'll tell you what, Daryl Caney has done a great job, getting off to a fast start himself, running the football. Of course, just like I said at the beginning of the season, it all depends on our offensive line. Whether we throw the ball well, whether we run the ball well, it all comes back to those guys up front. And defensively, the same thing. If those guys are playing well up front and they've got to double team them, then our linebackers can make plays. So we've got to be great in the trenches, both offensively and defensively, in order for us to be successful.
Yeah, and your defense. I'll tell you, when I look at that defensive line, I'm glad I'm not trying to go up against those guys. But then your offensive line, when I look at some of the big guys like your Resty, and then when I see Aiden go out there and punt the ball, and you go, my gosh, I'm not running into the punter because I might get hurt.
Yeah, he's done a great job punting the ball this year. I wish we didn't have to use him as much, but we do. And like I said, he's done a great job punting the ball. People don't know how athletic he is. He's really athletic for a big guy that weighs over 350 pounds. So he does a good job, and we got to do a great job protecting him back there.
Your offensive line, the big guys doing a good job, giving Sidney some time. Defensive line putting some pressure. Your linebackers are roaming around like they're supposed to. DBs, quick. You're staying on them. It's just a couple big plays here and there are the difference in your season of being 1-3 or 2-2 or 3-1.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've tried to really work on our fundamentals as well as our special teams. Our special teams suffered a little bit earlier in the year, but we think we've got them shored up. And with great special teams and great defense, it gives you an opportunity to win ball games. So we're concentrating there, trying to make sure that we can stay in ball games by playing great sound defensively and by having great special teams.
Taking a trip on a bus is always fun. Good thing you don't have to go all the way to Odessa. Gonna meet halfway, kind of, in Abilene there at Shotwell, which is a great facility. But that's always fun for the kids to take a trip. It's almost like a bowl game kind of thing. And like you said, you got the off week next week, and then district play starts. So it's I don't want to say it's going to be fun for the kids. It's a business trip, but at the same time, have a little bit of fun, right?
Well, we want them to get that experience of traveling to a city that's a little far off, and getting used to having to sit down with your teammates, have a conversation. Kids don't have conversations a lot. They text. Well, you're sitting next to your buddy on the bus.
You're texting.
You're having conversations. We're not doing any texting. We're having conversations. Maybe we're watching a movie or doing something like that, and conversating with the guy next to you. You get to know your teammate, a little bit better. I think it's always a great camaraderie, team builder for you to travel together and go and play a football game and then go eat and all those things. And you learn a lot about kids, and they learn a lot about each other, and it's some bonding time that goes on during that time. And your team end up pulling themselves together a little bit tighter, a little bit stronger after those type of trips. So we're glad we're having the opportunity to go do it.
And we're going to go ahead and say you're the most brilliant man in the world for scheduling a bye week coming out of non-district going into district.
Well, I can't say that. I only thing I can take credit for is the luck of the draw.
Take him to Shreveport, ladies and gentlemen.
The luck of the draw.
Yeah, that's a perfect place for it, though. Heal up, get ready, because
Right.
of this district you're going to go into. This is a tough district. You got a really good chance of making the playoffs this year, and some of the teams not performing as well as I thought they would. We'll talk about that as we go on through the season, but you're looking good. The opponents you played the tough ones, and as they say, I've said it 100 times: what don't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
And so I think you made the right decision with that non-district schedule. Come out healthy. Got a quarterback that's thrown for almost 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
And you got throwing that offense up and doing good.
Well, we learned a lot about our offense and all of our kids really.
Yeah.
In those preseason games, because playing those 6A teams, you got to bring it and be ready to go. And so we've gone toe to toe with quite a few of those guys, and so we got to know what we have and know what we need to work on. So going into that off week, we'll work on some of those things that we need to get better at and be ready to go when district comes.
Well, saddle them up, buddy. Let's go ahead and break the Broncos or whatever they are. Break them.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to travel there, and we're going to give it our best.
All right. Well, as always, good luck to you, buddy.
Go Eagles.
You're watching I-14 Sports Network.